up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and we have another new breakdown for you today. It's going to be on Patrick Mahomes and some of the best plays that he's had of his career. You know, it's always good to be able to do a breakdown on Patrick Mahomes. I don't think there's anybody that is as consistent and as great, really, as Patrick Mahomes right now in terms of being a overall just great quarterback. I mean, he has great mechanics. He does a great job with the offense. There's really little you could say bad about Patrick Mahomes, so we're just going to go over some of his top plays. As always, if you like the information, go ahead and click the thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you have any recommendations for us, you can leave that in the comments down below, and we'll go ahead and hop into the video right now. So we'll go right into Patrick Mahomes here. The big thing that, we'll see at this one, this is going to be the no-look pass, right? So he gets a little bit of pressure, goes over the side, and you can do this. The big thing when you're doing the no-look passes is that you really want to be stepping to where you're going to be throwing. This is something that when I was going through and learn how to be a quarterback, we would have different drills where we'd have to try to get the safety to sway one side, or the linebacker or flat defender to be able to, control with the eyes, control with, kind of the momentum of your body, and then you go and throw without, really looking. So he's probably trying to get this linebacker to keep moving this way. As he keeps coming across, he keeps looking, and then at the last second you can see him release, and it's just going to be too late when he actually ends up going, across like that. I was never actually ballsy enough to do it in a game where, just completely not looking and throwing across the body and putting it right on the numbers. I mean, that's just one of the most amazing things that I think that he's done, and, something that is, again, what makes him one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So here's a play action here. I think this is when he was still a rookie, and he starts getting a little bit of pressure, goes off to the side, and then throws a absolute perfect ball while going off and kind of falling off to the side there. And the big thing that he just does is he just gets such great rotation through the spine, and then gets full hip extension. Notice how when he pushes off, he really drives his hips all the way through, and I think that's something that's so unique to quarterbacks that are able to throw the ball very well, is just being able to fully maximize the hip extension as they're going through. And it was right when he was getting hit. I don't know how this is the number 9 when you actually watch this whole throw, but I'm assuming it's just because of the situation where it was like a preseason game when he was a rookie. But wow, that was just such an amazing throw. Here's a cool one. He gets a little bit of pressure, steps up, and then throws it standing or in the air, right? Just a little jump pass here. And this is, again, where it comes into just being able to get such good rotation through the spine and being able to flick the wrist really strong, right? So he really does a great job of getting that elbow and arm back, rotates through the spine, really gets all of his momentum going that way, and then is able to then come through, flick the wrist, and be able to throw really a perfect pass in the position of where it was, and ended up being a touchdown here. And I don't think this was in the AFC Championship game yet for that one. Again, here we go, stepping up. And just notice again, even as he loads, he doesn't end up throwing here, but notice again how he loads those hips, gets his body back coming through, right? And makes it so all that upper body's coming backwards as he's rotating out, and then he's going to end up throwing it off the right leg. He ends up kind of cocking it a little bit, and then, is able to get rid of the ball. And look at how fast he's able to get rid of the ball, right? He just makes the decision, gets that front arm kind of going, gets that load going, and then really drives the elbow. He doesn't waste any time with that elbow, right? See how as soon as he gets that elbow up and that ball gets to the same height or a little bit higher, how fast he just gets that elbow through. So he's in this position, has that externally rotated position of the arm, and that ball's never going back behind his head. The ball's also never going way out to the side here. He's able to just drive right through that elbow, and that's such a critical part of being able to have a great release time and be able to put a lot of velocity on your throw. Here's a cool one where he just throws it with the left hand, gets the ball out of his hand quick there. Here's one again where he just gets so much rotations rolling out to the side, gets that hip extension. So even though he's going fully to the left, see how he pushes off and is able to extend that hip, and then puts the ball again right on the money. And you can tell how he uses his hips to throw, because you can see as he's doing this, how much rotation he turns in his, again, in his hips and his lower body as he's actually making the throw. Here's a cool one, again, rolling off to the side, puts a ton behind this throw, throwing off to the side. We've seen a couple of them where he's throwing on the run before. This is a good one just because we can see from the pocket, right? So you get you're going to the right, get some pressure. He goes to the right, this guy breaks off. He's smart and comes back around to be able to get that D end to come straight through, and then comes back around and makes it so then he can get the corner on that defensive end, and then is able to, again, throw on the run, put the ball right in the right position. See, and as a quarterback, you got to be able to throw on the run, right? You got to understand how to load yourself up. Notice how he loads his weight back, right? He ends up being able to create a little bit extra space. His defender falls down, right? Then he goes and takes off up here. He sees it and loads, gets all of his weight back fully, sends that hip, drives all the way through, puts the ball right on the money. Touchdown. That one's in the AFC Championship game. And then we got this one. Just sits back. And just look at how when he goes and extends, how much external rotation he has in that shoulder, right? And that's really the big thing with the deep balls, guys. If you want to be able to throw the deep ball far, you got to be able to create a lot of external rotation in the arm, and that's really how you could throw the ball 50 yards, 60 yards. So, you got to be able to have plenty of range of motion through there. He's blessed in, I think his dad was a, college pitcher, maybe, I think actually a pro pitcher. And, probably was going through shoulder routines and arm routines from when he was a little kid. But that's why we want to be able to set you guys up with that within our throw programs is because I think it's hugely instrumental in making it so you could actually develop a stronger arm, a healthier arm, especially when you're younger. If you could do this when you're in your, young teens to even 11, 12, something like that, you could really end up setting yourself to have a lot of success as you get older if you just get your arm to have plenty of range of motion, plenty of strength. Just building up the right muscles within the rotator cuff really makes a big difference in terms of where your shoulder could be 5 years from now if you don't do the necessary precautions in comparison to if you do. So it really makes a big difference in just having the right range of motion, the right muscles strong within your shoulder as you continue to develop and keep on improving in your mechanics. All right. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Check out Quarterback University. We have the link down below. You get 3 days free if you go in and get started. And then also we have some other cool things down below as well. You have access to our free QB ebook, as well as you can get going on our quarterback throwing program. All of it down below. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer any questions. We'll talk to you soon.